Hi guys, today I want to talk to you guys about possession. How can we use the apostrophe s to indicate possession? And is there another way that we can indicate possession without the apostrophe s? Let's begin with this text. This text is about Chicago's flag. Okay, so we have an article here. This is only the first paragraph, but this article is about Chicago's flag. So I want you guys to take a look at the text and decide what the main idea of the article is. So the options are: the flag of Chicago is important to the identity of the city and its people. The flag of Chicago is a best-selling souvenir for tourists. The flag of Chicago became famous after being featured on a radio show. So let's take a look at the text. Many cities in the United States have flags, but few are as loved as Chicago's. It can be seen all over the city, from its street corners to its skyscrapers. Today, says Wet Moser from Chicago Magazine, I went to get a haircut. When I sat down in the barber's chair, there was a Chicago flag on the box that the barber kept all his tools in. In the mirror, there was a Chicago flag on the wall behind me. When I left, a guy passed me who had a Chicago flag on his backpack. There is even a website called ChicagoFlagTattoos.com. It features interviews with and photos of people who love the flag so much that they want it permanently drawn on their bodies. The flag is also a distinctive symbol of Chicago pride. As flag expert Ted Kay says, when a police officer or a firefighter dies in Chicago, often it's not the flag of the United States on his coffin. It can be the flag of the city of Chicago. That's how deeply the flag has gotten into the civic imagery of Chicago. Like any good flag, the Chicago flag's design is simple and its symbolism is clear. The white areas represent 3 Chicago neighborhoods. The stripes represent the river and the lake. The stars represent important events in Chicago's history. Its simple but bold design is rated highly by flag experts and is probably also the reason it has become so popular. Roman Mars moved to Chicago in 2005, and he too fell in love with the flag. Mars is the host and creator of 99% Invisible, a popular radio show about design and architecture. He's sure that the love for the flag is not just because people love Chicago. In Mars' own words, I also think that people love Chicago more because the flag is so cool. Okay, so what do you guys think is the main idea of the article? Are we saying that the flag of Chicago is important to the identity of the city and its people? Are we saying that the flag of Chicago is a best-selling souvenir for tourists? Or that the flag of Chicago became famous after being featured on a radio show? We talk about a radio show, right? The last guy that we mentioned here, Roman Mars, he has a popular radio show. But, and we don't talk about tourists. We talk about objects, but not souvenirs. So the main idea of the article is that the flag of Chicago is important to the identity of the city and its people. Okay, but that's not what I want to talk to you guys about. We are talking about possession, right? So if you take a look at the options here, you have the flag of Chicago, the flag of Chicago. That's different from Chicago's flag, right? With the apostrophe s. So I pulled here 3 sentences from the text so we can compare. Many cities in the United States have flags, but few are as loved as Chicago's. Apostrophe s, right? When I left, a guy passed me who had a Chicago flag on his backpack. It can be the flag of the city of Chicago. Now, we have here 3 ways in which we can indicate possession, right? The flag of the city of Chicago. So Chicago has the flag. The city of Chicago possesses the flag. Like, it's their possession. It's the city's possession. So first, we are using the apostrophe S here. Many cities have flags, but few are as loved as Chicago's. The sentence stops here because we don't need to repeat flag. But if we repeated flag, this would be Chicago's flag, okay? Apostrophe S, Chicago's flag. Here, we have Chicago flag being used as an adjective and a noun. So the noun is flag, and the adjective that qualifies the flag is Chicago. It's a flag. What type of flag? Chicago flag, right? This is adjective and noun, but this is also indicating that the flag is the flag of Chicago. And we have the third example that spells it out. The flag of the city of Chicago. Now using all the words. The flag of the city of Chicago. Okay? Here, we can see that with the apostrophe S, Chicago is a singular noun. Yeah? It's the name of the city. It's one city, so it's a singular noun. Chicago's flag. So this is how we use the apostrophe S when we are talking about singular nouns, ou seja, substantivos no singular. So Chicago's flag. Let me think of another example. The book's cover, right? Book as a singular noun, cover, a capa do livro, the book's cover. Now, plural nouns ending in S. If I use plural nouns, most of them will end in S, right? So how do I use the apostrophe S if my noun already ends in S? So plural nouns ending in S, I just use the apostrophe. I don't have to put another S. So flags, colors, the flag's colors, okay? Now, we also have singular nouns that can end in S, right? For example, the name Chris, there's only one Chris, so it's a singular noun, but his name ends in S. I have to use the apostrophe S, Chris present, but the pronunciation can be different. I can say Chris present or Chris's present, as if there was an E here, right? Chris's present. So you can pronounce that both ways. Oh, Chris, I have Chris present, or I have Chris's present. But when you write, the spelling has to have the apostrophe S anyway, okay? What is the most correct way to indicate this? Do I have to use the apostrophe S? Do I have to use adjective, noun? Or do I have to say the flag of the city of Chicago? Either way, right? In this case here, you can use either way. All of the options are correct. Now, in Portuguese, that doesn't happen, right? In Portuguese, usually we just do this. The flag of the city of Chicago. A bandeira da cidade de Chicago. A bandeira de Chicago, né? Even like in this example, using the adjective, a bandeira de Chicago, a gente não falaria isso em português. A bandeira teria que ser, por exemplo, a bandeira brasileira, né? Teria que mudar o adjetivo de Brasil para brasileira, mudando Chicago para Brasil, né? Ou a bandeira mineira, né? A bandeira de Minas Gerais ou a bandeira mineira. Para usar o adjetivo, teria que ser diferente. Now, why did I want to talk to you guys about this? Because I went to the movies a couple of weeks ago and I saw The Bone Temple, which is an incredible movie. But I had this epiphany while thinking about the movie, because The Bone Temple is the second movie in the new 28 years later trilogy. In Portuguese, the movies are called Extermínio. So the name of the movie in English is The Bone Temple. And the name of the movie in Portuguese is O Templo dos Ossos, right? Now, let's think about everything that we just learned. The Bone Temple. What does that mean for us? The Bone Temple. What is this telling us? Is the temple made of bones? Are bones like the material of the temple? Or is the temple, or does the temple belong to the bones? Do you understand what I'm saying? Because in Portuguese, o templo dos ossos, o templo é feito de ossos ou o templo é dos ossos? É claro que a gente sabe que o templo é feito de ossos, mas em português existe essa ambiguidade, right? In English, the bone temple, what do we want to say when we say the bone temple? Is the bone the material, or does the temple belong to the bones? So, and if we translate o templo dos ossos, if we translate this name to English, we have the temple of bones. Right? If we translate directly to English, we have the temple of bones. The temple of bones makes it clearer that the bones are the material, right? The temple of bones. When I left the theater, I was Googling information about the movie. And I didn't know the exact title, like the original title of the movie. So I was searching for the Temple of Bones. I was Googling the Temple of Bones. And 2 days later, I realized that the original title of the movie is The Bone Temple, not the Temple of Bones. The Temple of Bones would be a direct translation from the title in Portuguese. So that got me thinking, I can use this for a class, right? I can use this to give the example. So here, if we get the original title in English, The Bone Temple, can I say Temple of Bones without completely changing the meaning of the title? Yes. The Bone Temple sounds much cooler, right, than the Temple of Bones, but the meaning is the same, right? Now, can I say Bones Temple? Can I use the apostrophe S here, meaning that the temple belongs to the bones? No, because that's not what it means. That's not what it means in the movie, right? The temple is made of bones. The temple doesn't belong to the bones. So the apostrophe S here, the apostrophe S in this title would be wrong, okay? In Portuguese, do we have other options for this title? So, o Templo dos Ossos. Can I use Bone Temple like the original title? Can I use bone as an adjective in Portuguese? No, because I would have to change the word, right? I cannot say o templo osso. I have to say o templo ossudo, maybe. I have to change the word to turn it into an adjective, right? That's the thing. In English, bone can be an adjective, right? The word can be an adjective. The word can have different functions without changing its form. And that doesn't happen in Portuguese, right? What is the adjective for osso? Osso is a noun, um substantivo. Qual que é o adjetivo que eu poderia usar? Ossudo? Eu só tô pensando em ossudo agora, deve ter mais, mas osso não é, né? Então não dá para falar o templo osso. Eu tenho que falar o templo ossudo, qualquer que seja a qualidade aqui que eu queira falar com osso, né? And of course, in Portuguese, we don't use the apostrophe as, right? So the only option possible in Portuguese is o templo dos ossos. Well, that's it. I hope that has cleared some of your guys' questions about possessive as, about the adjective. How can we use adjectives instead of the possessive as to indicate possession? Anyway, if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments so we can have a little chat. And I'll see you guys next week with another class. Bye-bye.